This is WWSU 106.9. You are now tuned into your right state on WWSU 106.9, Fairborn, Dayton.
You are listening to WWSU 106.9, Fairborn, Dayton, Dayton's First Choice. You're listening to Your Right State. You're with DJ Cuest. And on the phone, I have my man, Kmitch. How you doing today?
What's going on?
Not much. So where are you originally from?
I'm from Houston, Texas, originally.
So are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
No, I'm a Houston Texans fan, man.
Alright.
I gotta rock with the hometown, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But, first off, I want to get off to your single that you just released. Can you, go in depth to, where the inspiration came from with the...
the inspiration started because I got the beat from one of my friends, a producer out in Little Rock, Arkansas, Don Dash. So shout out to him. He sent me the beat, and as soon as I heard the beat, I knew instantly what type of song, that it was meant to be, the type of vibe that I got from it. So, like I said, I knew coming, because I just got back to Houston probably like a year ago from Pittsburgh, so I knew, in order to make a big wave, I would have to make a song, you know what I'm saying, that was made for the times, and at the time it was the summertime. So, like I said, I wanted to reach out to somebody who also had a nice movement going on in the city, so I reached out to Propane. A couple of members from my camp got in touch with some of his people. We linked up and made the record happen and shit, made magic, so right now, that's what we're just working on that.
Alright, so, what was, your true inspiration? When did you know, this was the moment that you was going to start rapping?
I'd say the moment that I lost my scholarship at the University of Denver. That's the moment that I knew that's the moment that I knew that I was going to take this seriously. Because prior to this, like I said, I was at the University of Denver on a basketball scholarship, so basketball was in my windshield. That's what I was looking at. But at the same time, I was doing the music on the side, but I wasn't taking it as seriously as I am now. So when that unfortunate situation happened, it caused me to, I had to regather myself and get it together, and I decided to go full-fledged head on with this music, so that's what I'm doing now.
What was your position?
Point guard.
Point guard? So you
Yeah.
So who's your team then?
Oh man, I'm still a ride or die Lakers fan. I know we're looking a little dilapidated right now, man. You know what I'm saying? But I got to still ride with my team.
You think Kobe coming back this season?
Yeah, he coming back. But I don't know how long he gonna stay after he come back.
I give him to All-Star weekend.
Come on, man. He got to get one full up out of it.
I give my props to Kobe. He is one of the best right now, but he is kind of getting old. You gotta know when to leave. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the game so long. It's time to pass down the torch to somebody to say. But I guess he's still waiting for that somebody to pass the torch down to.
Exactly. But I mean, he personifies, longevity. And I don't care what you do. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're, in the NBA, NFL, or in the music industry. That's one thing that you want to have is longevity, because longevity 9 times out of 10 equates success. Because the person who stayed in the league as long as he has, you can't have had that type of career without being somewhat successful stuff. That's what I just strive for. Once I get my foot in the door, just having that longevity, like a Kobe Bryant or like a Michael Jordan. It's just, when you got the passion for it, it's hard to let it go. That's why Mike came back several times, he just couldn't let it go. So
I'm gonna be asking you a lot of random questions. This is one of them. What famous person would you, or 2 famous person that you make a song about that you inspired you in some type of form or way?
What famous people that I would make a song about?
Yeah.
I'll probably have to say Jay-Z, for one, because, he was big a big influence on the way that I look at music now. Not only from the creative standpoint, but the business aspect as well. And I guess the next best correlation to me would be sports. So I would probably have to say like, you know, a Kobe Bryant or like a Michael Jordan. You know, those are the people that I grew up idolizing. And, you know, those are the people that kind of got me focused on knowing that, you know, in order for me to accomplish this, I have to live my life a certain way. I have to make certain choices. I have to hang out with certain people. So, you know, and that's all about becoming successful and learning how to be successful and place yourself around successful people. So, you know, I say if I would have to make a song, those would be my two right there.
Do you think it's important for artists or somebody just to surround them with the people who are trying to establish the same goal?
To a certain extent, yes. But then, you know, you don't want to lose touch with your friends because, you know, not everybody is trying to be in the music industry. Not everybody's trying to be a videographer or a producer, you know, so you don't want to lose touch with, you know, people that you grew up with. But at the same time, when it comes to making business decisions, you know, and placing yourself in that environment, it has to be conducive to what you're trying to do. You know, so if people are going to take away from what you're doing, then 9 times out of 10 it's best to just stay away from those people, you know. So you just got to know how to handle people.
All right, so your album, The Detour, is coming out soon. But can you, like, give us a little bit, like, what's the difference between your album, True Testimony, between The Detour, and what should we expect?
Well, True Testimony was kind of rushed. To be honest with you, a lot of people don't know the history behind True Testimony. There was a artist signed to the label prior to, you know, me joining the label or whatever, and for some odd reason, you know, he split ways, parted ways with the record label, so I was kind of pushed to the forefront to, you know, put out a body of work because he was like in the midst of releasing the album and then he just left the label. So, you know, the pressure was put on me to kind of produce a body of work and expedite that process. So I wasn't able to really put everything as far as my creative process into that album. I feel like it's still a dope album for the time frame that I had. But The Detour has been more of a process. You know, like these songs that you'll hear on The Detour is an example of what I've been going through for the past, you know, 6 or 7 years. It's just a chronological, it's in like chronological order, you know, year by year, you know, and each song goes by, you'll be able to relate to another step in my life that I took, you know, to ultimately get to where I'm at now. So it's just a body of work compiled of, you know, real life situations, stuff that I was going through, people that I was, you know, meeting, encountering with one-on-one basis. So, I mean, it's a real personal album.
Okay, so do you think it's common now that some artists are like, they feel like they have to, like how you say the True Testimony was rushed? Do you feel like a lot more artists are learning from like their rut when you know this project is rushed compared to their second album that they know they actually sat down and fiddled with a lot of sounds and different stories?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's anything that you do, you know what I'm saying, you want to do it with care and you want to take your time with it, you know, so I feel like, you know, that's how you get your best quality work. You know, like when we were taking time tests in middle school and high school, the teacher always told you, you know, it's not about who finishes first. So don't try to be the first one finished because 9 times out of 10, that person is going to make a careless mistake, something that they were, you know, just skipped over, you know, in a rush. But if you take your time, double check it and triple check it, then you know at the end of the day you'll have a product that you can stand behind and be proud of. So that's what it's about to me.
Okay. So, what 5 songs describes your personality, like off your iPod, or like in general you just listen to?
5 songs. I'd say, you know, some Big Crit, like, you know, Meditate. You know, because I spend a lot of time by myself, you know, whenever I'm not around, you know, my team, when we take care of business. I spend a lot of time by myself and I do a lot of thinking. So I say Meditate. I'd say, that's a tough one, man. Out of all the questions I've ever been asked, that's probably the one that got me stumped. Uh, man, J. Cole, Can I Holler at You? You know, really, J. Cole, Born Sinner. You know, it's self-explanatory. You know, Jeezy and Jay-Z, Seen It All. And Wiz Khalifa, you know, we them boys. Cause, you know, I just feel like my team, we them boys, people just don't know it yet. So.
Yeah. So, this is like a general music question. Like, do you think like the Dirty South is taking, like, pretty much like took over the sound, like over West Coast, East Coast, West?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's taken over, but the Dirty South has become influential in music from each coast. You know, from the East Coast to the West Coast, Dirty South, you know, style and sound is influential in their music. You know, and I feel like, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say we've taken over, but we definitely have, you know, our handprint in the game.
So, I know we talked about Detroit a little bit, but what stories can you, like, not giving like too much away, like what story like would you like is like the highlight of this album?
I feel like the highlight of the album is the intro.
The intro?
Yeah, you know, I feel like it's gonna resonate just as well as the Dreams and Nightmares, the intro that Meek Mill had. You know, like, you feel that emotion, you feel that pain, you feel that struggle. You know, and then not only that, it's telling you the story from when he went from, you know, rags to riches. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody that's a soldier of the same struggle, you can feel that. So anybody who want to know me, you know what I'm saying, for me, when you put all this other stuff to the side, that intro going to tell you everything that you want to know. And I feel like the intro is going to be the determining factor whether a person lets it go to number 2 or they'll take it out. So, and I'm confident that by listening to my intro, people going to listen to all 18, 19 tracks that's on the album.
When is the Detour supposed to come out, or you can't dispel?
Yeah, that's, you know, I can't provide that information right now. We're still kind of battling with the, you know, the release date. But I do have I'm going to do a surprise leak here within the next month or 2. You know, probably do like a 6-7 song EP. And we'll do a digital release, so you can be on the lookout for that. And then I also have a mixtape already done, which is called The Setback. So that will, you know, release shortly after the EP. So, you know, I got some stuff to be on the lookout for, you know.
Just to tease some stuff.
Yeah, you know, so we're working.
Okay, so, like, okay, so what do you think the top 10 artists from the Dirty South is? Like, name your top, to you, who are your top 10?
Top 10 from the Dirty South, I have to say Scarface, Outkast, T.I., D.O., UGK, I'm going to say SUC, that's the Screwed Up Clique out of Houston, Texas. So anybody ever, you know, those of you who don't know, let's see, who else? Man, there's so many people. Big Hawk, Big Pokey, and Big Mo. I'm rocking with everybody from the H because, you know, like, Houston has a big influence on the sound of music today. So,
yeah.
You know, it's a lot of heavy hitters that came out of Texas.
But, thanks again for doing this interview, sitting down with us, and taking your time to talk about the Detour.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. For those of you who are in tune with the social networks, you can follow me on Instagram at official Kmitch. You can follow me on Twitter at Kmitch713. You know what I'm saying? We got the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Kmitch. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Kmitch Nation. You know, we also have our own website as well, www.waydownrecords.com, and that's WAVDOWN records.com. So go on there and you can have the latest music, you know, news, pictures, blogs, anything they got to do with Kmitch and Way Down Records. You can go on there and get it. So
thanks again. This was you are listening to WWSU 106.9 Fairboard Dayton, Date's Red Choice. This was your right state. You was listening with DJ Cuest.
yes, man, we rock it. Let's get it.
This is WWSU 106.9. You are now tuned into your right state on WWSU 106.9 Fairboard Dayton.
I can see the darkness in me and it's quite amazing.
You are listening to WWSU 106.9 Fairboard Dayton, Dayton's Red Choice. You are listening to Your Right State with DJ Cuest, and on the phone I have the lovely Cali Miles.
What up?
Not much. So I gotta ask, since you're from Cleveland, are you a Browns fan?
Of course I am. I'm not too much into organized sports, but you know, I support anything that makes Cleveland people happy. We go through a lot in Cleveland, so whatever makes everybody else happy, I'm cool with. I'm not too much into sports though. I love to play sports, but watching them, not so much.
Not so much. But but I was reading up on you. You have like an interesting career. The one that kind of stuck out the most before we get into the music is you switched to vegan.
Yes.
Like, how hard? Because to me, I would find that hard because I love meat. Like I don't think I could get rid of it. So how hard was it to like switch to vegan?
I love meat too. I would eat meat with every single meal, and honestly, even now that I'm vegan, I still feel like I eat meat with every single meal. I'm just not eating the meat from an animal. I'm eating meat that's made from plant-based foods. So I don't feel like I'm going without anything now. And the reason that we went vegan, my fiance and I both did, it'll be 4 years, I think, in October. We saw the documentary Forks Over Knives, which basically just brings up a lot of we saw a lot of the health issues that our parents had, getting diabetes and having open heart surgery and a lot of these things that a lot of people are going through, and we just thought, we don't want that. We want to be healthy. And so we just immediately went vegan, cold turkey. And it was a little bit harder for him at first because he's not always, he would be out at business meetings and things like that, and figuring out what to order when you're at restaurants can be difficult. But if you cook, and if you can cook, then it is easy. You just kind of have to change your way of thinking and make sure you read the back of everything that you're eating. Which you just kind of have to retrain your habits. But I can tell you that I eat better than I did before, and I'm so much more satisfied by food than I ever was before. So you should try it.
Awesome. So you did recently release your single Sugar. What was
yes.
kind of like the inspiration from the sound of it?
Well, it's kind of got a little bit of a throwback sound. I listened to a lot of Salt and Pepper growing up, and a lot of people, when it comes on, they're like, "Oh, this is you?" They don't really even realize it's me at first. But I love the song. It's got such a nice summery, kind of summer love type of vibe, and that's kind of just what we did with it. And it's featuring my fiance, Bobby Champagne, also a reggae artist, Gemini, and Danny Wells, who's on the hook, and produced by Young Up. And we did the video with the guys from High Art. You guys can check out the video for Sugar on YouTube. And it's a really fun summer vibe video, like I said. You like the song?
Yes, I actually love. I was just like listening to it, like feeling the vibe of. I like the instrumental for it. Like it's really like thinks of the throwback.
Yeah, it's a Curtis.
I like it.
It's a Curtis Mayfield sample from Young Up.
I was wondering if it like sounded familiar.
Mhm.
But one of the questions I want to get into, like, what was your like inspirations? Like you knew you was going to do music for sure, or do something with the music industry. Like, what was like the moment you knew you was going to do it?
I pretty much have known all my life. I started writing songs when I was 9 years old, and it's really been my number one all the time. But, you know, as you probably know, being in the music business, especially being an artist, it can be really expensive. So it's hard to maintain, and you have to invest a lot of money into yourself and into your craft, and, you know, it can be difficult at times. So you got to really, really love it to keep at it. And there's a lot of different things in the entertainment business that I'm interested in, like a lot of different artists. You know, I act and, you know, I've modeled a little bit, but it's always come back to the music. That's always been my number one.
And when you're talking about different forms of industry, like I noticed that you like looking up new talent. Is that like something you like develop through the years, or did it like just one day you like want to promote other artists?
It's kind of something I've always been doing. Like I said, I started writing songs when I was 9, and I also started my first girl group when I was 9. So I did that, and then I also started like another girl group when I was 18. I was kind of always searching for like-minded individuals because I felt very different and kind of separated from everyone growing up, just because I really had such a strong belief that I could do this for a living. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear that when you're growing up in a small town, like, kind of, who does she think she is, you know, type of thing. But, you know, when it's something that you're really passionate about, so I was kind of always just searching for other people like me to work with. And I've never been, like, a hater or a jealous type of person. So for me, when I see people that are interested in the same thing, especially females, I always see them as allies instead of competition. And I've always wanted to work with them. So, you know, starting my business and starting the Bomb Squad, it was just really natural. And I love being able to give other people opportunities and also just pass down a lot of the stuff that I've learned, because a lot of times you have to go through things and learn it the hard way. And it's nice to be able to help other people kind of skip those steps.
What would, advice-wise, what do you wish somebody would have told you, like, earlier when you first started out?
To be a DJ.
To be a DJ.
To become a DJ, definitely, which I still want to do, and a producer, but I feel like as a singer, unless you're doing acoustic shows or something like that, there's really no way to make income until you're, like, pop star, Katy Perry status. I mean, even Gaga went broke. So it's just, there's so much involved with the business of it. The clubs always need a DJ, and if you know how to produce and you know how to DJ, then you can make your own records and you can play your own records, and that's really, like, that would be the smartest thing for anybody that wants to be an artist to do, I think, is be a DJ first, because you can make money and play your own stuff.
Yeah. So, this is a general music question, like, do you feel like the Midwest music was somewhat influenced by either more of the East Coast, the South, or the West Coast?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I don't know if you can really generalize like that. I think everybody's inspired by different things, but like the overall sound, I would think a little bit more East Coast, because I mean, the weather and stuff on the West Coast, just everything is so laid back over there, and I strive for that kind of sound. I love that sound. But I know when I go to the West Coast, I feel a lot more urban and, like, harder than a lot of the people out there. Just, I feel like Cleveland is definitely more of a kind of East Coast kind of sound, at least for Cleveland. I'm a speaker for Cleveland. It's a little darker, you know what I mean? It's not so laid back. It's a little bit more serious.
Like, kind of more like more realistic stories, or?
Yeah, like realistic stories, and even just the tracks too that I always get from producers. They just kind of have this sound like it's raining outside, and you know, it's just kind of a little bit of a darker type of sound than like if the sun were always shining and we were just like sitting on the beach watching the waves crash type of thing.
Yeah, but I know you talked about one of your influences was Salt and Pepper. Like, do you have like a top 10 of female artists back then that are more that you were more influenced by, or?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists. I was a huge Whitney Houston fan growing up. I remember singing The Greatest Love of All when I was like 5 years old to like all my neighbors, and Mariah Carey was another one. Like I loved singing all of their songs when I was younger. I was also a huge Madonna fan. I'm actually going to be covering a couple Madonna songs and putting those out soon. And I was a big Aaliyah fan. I love Aaliyah. And her music is still so relevant and so beautiful. And let's see, who else? I also listen to a lot of people kind of like Linda Ronstadt and, you know, older music as well.
Okay. So, name 5 songs on your iPod right now that describes your personality.
Oh, man. I don't listen to a ton of the music that is out like on the radio that people might be familiar with right now, but one of the artists that I do really like is The Weeknd, because his stuff is just like really sexy and raw. So I would say like The Weeknd, High for This is a song that I really like. I'm also I really love Macklemore, Thrift Shop. Like you can put on that song at any time, and I just love that beat, and it's really funny, and I also like to incorporate comedy into my music with songs like Yo Mama Got Beef. And so I love Macklemore, Thrift Shop. Anything that's kind of like light and funny, but, you know, well written at the same time, I really like. I also listen to a lot of Ina, who is a Romanian pop star, and like her song In Your Eyes is one of my favorite songs. I listen to Adventure Club, and pretty much any of their music I really like a lot. That's like all I can say to kind of think about right now.
So, there has been like a lot of artists coming out of Cleveland or begin to like start big buzz around Cleveland. Where do you think like the music in Cleveland is going, like from your standpoint? Like you've been in the industry for a while.
Well, from my standpoint, it's going in a very positive direction. We are kind of like, I have a hip-hop group with my fiance, Bobby Champagne, and Rick Stickman, and, you know, a few of our other bombshells. And we're called the Flow Learners. And we're on just a very, like, positive, uplifting, kind of motivated music type of vibe right now. So it's all about the message for us. So personally, like, I don't listen to music unless it has a good message. I just don't really see what the point is in putting anything out if it's not talking about something good. I've been reading a lot and learning a lot this summer, and just learning about the importance of affirmations and auto-suggestion, and what you say, you become. So I feel like what you put in your music and you repeat over and over to yourself, and people repeat over and over to themselves, shapes their environment. And so I just think it's really important that we're putting out positive messages, that people aren't repeating things that keep them oppressed. So to me, the people that I'm surrounded by and kind of our movement in Cleveland, it's just moving in like a really positive direction. And you can only like fight, you know, there's so many things in the world, you can only fight like the pain and hate and stuff like that with love. You can only win with love. So that's kind of what we're all about.
Okay.
And if that's not too cheesy.
But so even with today, like we have Nicki Minaj, Iggy Azalea, and Nitty Sky MC, do you feel like there's still like a gap between female artists in the industry but towards the male artists?
I love that we're seeing a lot more female artists. I just wish that their message was better, because I feel like, I mean, even J-Lo coming out with her latest video with Iggy Azalea, I mean, I just think it's ridiculous for someone like J-Lo that's so established and so powerful to be kind of lowering herself to the antics of, you know, young girls just starting out in the industry. I don't think that the language that she uses is very respectful. I don't think that the videos are. I think that they're all very talented. I just think it's time for someone to stand up that is a woman and just be like, listen, like, stop calling each other bitches, stop calling yourself that. Like, we we're stronger than that. We don't need to always be on a stripper pole. We don't need to be getting booty injections. We can just be talented. Like, I just want someone to stand up and say that, and if I have to be the first person to do it, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'll be cool with it too.
Good. I like that.
But I really want to know more, like, how did the Bomb Squad and the Bomb Squad radio came about?
Well, the Bomb Squad, first of all, kind of just happened organically, like I said. We started, my fiance and Bobby Champagne, we started throwing some parties in Cleveland and just started noticing a lot of beautiful and talented young women around us. And, you know, I've been in the industry for a while, so it was just my nature to want to help them and just kind of like show them the ropes. And then it eventually turned into, you know, a business and sort of a mentoring program. And, you know, we just really stand for, you know, females working together and female empowerment. And it's really grown into something that we can be really proud of, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Right now, we keep doing searches and auditions, so if anyone out there is listening and they're interested in being a part of the squad, you can go to cali-miles.com and sign up for the next audition. And, I mean, we've got girls on the squad that, you know, it's not all about modeling. Some of the girls are models, but some are actresses. A lot of them are artists. We just got a couple really good artists. Shout out to Christina Ferry and Courtney, from Jay Courtney. There's two really great artists that we just got on the squad, and I'm really excited to start working on some music with them. But, you know, when you're a female in the business, if anyone needs support, I think it's the females, you know, and that's kind of why we started it, because there were so many times that I was the only female at a show, and it is so much easier to make it in this industry, or even to do anything, if you've got a team of girls that got your back. You know, you might be able to make it by yourself, but it's a lot easier if you've got a whole squad of girls that have your back that you can work with. So, Bomb Squad Radio, that you asked about, Voice of Radio reached out to us. You know, shout out to my boy Errol Porter, and we've got a show on Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. And it's really cool to have the radio show. I mean, we can play a lot of our music. If other artists want to send in their music, we can play their music. You can just send it to CaliSmilesMusic@gmail.com, and we'll review it and get it on there. And we're just all about talking about, you know, issues that women go through in the business, or just, you know, in everyday life, as well as, you know, trends and nightlife events and fashion and all that good stuff.
Awesome. But I don't know why that question flew up my head. But I see that you performed, like, opened up for Busy Bone, one of the Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know why I can't say that out. What was that like? Like to It was really, really awesome. I actually am originally from Minnesota. I only lived there until I was 5, but I have a lot of my family that still lives there. And so I got to open up for him for some shows in Minnesota and in Wisconsin. So my sister, who lives out there, actually got to come with me and see me. And it was a really great experience. It was cool to be able to play, you know, in front of those crowds. And they showed me a lot of love. You know, it's always crazy when you're in your hometown. A lot of times, a lot of people say this, is you feel like everybody's kind of fighting against you. And then when you finally step out and get out of town, like, people kind of, you know, people really feel you and really show you a lot of love. And I can definitely say that that's how it was. It was a great experience, and I'm a big fan. I actually want to cover a Bone song soon, so you might have to do like a little vote on which song people want to hear me cover. But do you have like a crazy story, like where you was like performing, this fan did such and such, or?
Actually, yeah, when I was performing, opening up for Busy, a girl just totally, I don't know how she got onto the stage, because the stage was literally like at their heads, like at their height. Somehow this girl climbed up on the stage, like over the speaker, and just started like grinding all over me while I was singing. And I'm trying to kind of like, you know, I'm trying to perform, so I'm trying to kind of play it off, you know, and dance with her, but it's like I also kind of want someone to get it off me, but I don't want to like be rude or, you know, so it was kind of like a really awkward situation. I think finally somebody came and got her off the stage, but, you know, you never know what's going to happen when you're live, so that's the beauty of it.
That's funny. Before you go, what would you give advice to any artist, male or female? What advice would you give them if they're like just starting out, or?
I would just say like surround yourself with you know, like-minded people. Just surround yourself with people that you want to be like. It can be hard sometimes. I know a lot of people are in situations where they have to work so many hours, and the job that they're working at is with, you know, not really with the most positive people around them. But everybody's at a different place in their life, so I would just say to really try, if you want to be like somebody, just try to spend as much time as you can with people like that. And even as far as the people you follow on Instagram. If you're following people on Instagram that are posting negative stuff or stuff that you don't want to be like, unfollow them. Like, I only follow people on Instagram that I can look up to, that I want to be like. I just try to really surround myself with positive people and people that I want to be more like. If you can't be friends with them, at least follow them and just, you know, check out what they're doing. That's the beauty of the internet and everything now, that you can really just see what everyone's doing on a day-to-day basis, and that's a good way to stay motivated.
Well, again, thank you for doing this interview with us. Do you have any like places where the audience could go check out your music and whatnot, like social media?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Cali Miles. It's CALIMILES. My website is cali-miles.com, where you can book me or any of the Bomb Squad members, or learn more about us, or sign up to join the Bomb Squad. My SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/Cali-Miles. And there's a few new track remix of Yo Mama Got Beef I want everyone to check out by Mirror Picks. You guys can find that link on my Twitter. Make sure you check out the Sugar music video and my Shaping the Night music video, which also just came out.
Okay. Thank you for the interview, and thank you for everybody for tuning in to pre-record show. Again, you are listening to WWSU 106.9, Fairborn, Dayton. Dayton's right towards you was listening with DJ Cuest, and you was listening to Kmitch and Cali Miles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
This is WWSU 106.9. You are now tuned into your right state on WWSU 106.9, Fairborn, Dayton.